Here we are working on Samba, asking her for a canter. And she does a couple of steps and then just kind of falls into a quick trot. I've got her out of the round pen and I'm just trying to ask for canter on the lunge line out in the open. It used to be that she would canter in a straight line and drag me all over the place until we started doing it in the round pen so she can't get away from me. And that wasn't too bad. So she's getting a little bit better, incrementally. So we're going to come around the corner here and I'm going to ask her for move out. Yep, pretty good. And here we're doing some trotting and changes of direction. And she decided to walk instead of trot through. We're still working on halt. Actually, just getting a good stop would be nice. That wasn't too bad. So I ask her for a little move out there to get her going again. And the thing that I'm thinking about here is trying to get her on a very small circle with her head closer to the circle and trying to ask her for move out. So that's kind of what I'm trying to get. Whenever I ask for move out, she always thinks I want trot, so I'm just letting her trot, and I'm continuing to ask her to bring her head closer to the bucket and to do move out around the circle. So that's what she is working on doing. And I thought she did okay. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but she's kind of getting the steps right there. And here I'm doing move out with her, and of course she gravitates to that bucket, but I'm able to do move out again and get her off of it. So that worked pretty good.
I want to step on them.
Trying to get that head closer to the bucket and then do a few steps of move out. And if I let her go too far without turning again, she's going to be out in outer space. So I'm kind of alternating. And she seems to be kind of understanding this. Not doing a perfect circle, but she is responsive and she's trying to do what I ask. So that's good. Now when I have her on a fairly small circle, I feel like I'm always saying, turn in, turn in, turn in. And there's a limit on how small a circle I can get from her. I don't know if she's incapable of bending anymore or what it is, or if she's just matching me with move out. I think she's just kind of saying no to the turn in. Here we just walk through a change of bend in direction. This is a halt, or what passes for one.
Yeah, sure, that was good. Wow.
Now on this day, Dave got his camera out and he was filming her from the center of a tiny circle. And she was really doing this move out thing very well. But it doesn't really show how well she's doing in this little clip. I've got some more video that shows her, she's actually on a very tiny circle and she's actually doing move out all the way around with her head toward the center of the circle. Now this is on a different day. We're going in the opposite direction. And I'm asking her to be on a small circle, to really bend and try to do move out all the way around the circle. She's a little fussy on this day. I don't know if it's the cold weather, the wind, or what aggravates her. But you can see in her expression that she's
Oh, she did.
not happy. Here you can see a little bit of her misbehavior. You might think that I'm jerking on her or something, and she's raising her head in response. But she actually raises her head first and kind of turns the wrong way. You know, she gets inverted. There, I just really gave her a strong correction and said, stop running away. So now she's patiently waiting until I tell her to do something else.
Yeah.
And change of bend at the trot. Now here, I'm going to circle her around on a very small circle. She's being a little fussy and like she doesn't want to do this. She'll get a little bit fast and I'll slow her down like that. I want her to slow down when I say ho ho. Usually she does, but she's just a little cranky on this day. So she's not being too responsive. And I just want her to go real slow around this little tiny circle. She'll start to take hasty steps, and I'll just slow her down a little bit more. And I told her, that's terrible. You're being terrible. Now pull it together. A lot of times I notice if I reward her for small things, her attitude improves. If she's trying to give me all kinds of stuff and I never tell her what the right thing is, she gets very aggravated. She's starting to get better here as we go. Now, am I turning her on too small a circle, do you think? Because it kind of looks like her shoulder is popped out a little bit. Like maybe her neck is just boomeranged a little bit to the inside and she's not bending through her body enough. I don't know. What do you think? I kind of see a little bit of that as I'm looking at this. Although she does get better. Now she's being a little bit strong, so I pull her back again. I don't know. She is just a very challenging horse to ride. She has such moods. And she does the best when I am the softest with her. She's doing all right there. Okay, so here's Prairie. After watching Samba for a while, you can really tell how different Prairie is. Here we're doing figure eights. And that bucket that's knocked over, I used it there to get up on him. And I thought it was further, I thought it was closer to the camera than that it would be out of my frame. But it's in the frame, and he deliberately went over there and tripped on it, you know, stomped all over the bucket. Just to aggravate me, I think. But here I'm just trying to ride him kind of lightly, giving him subtle aids to tell him where I want to go. I'm trying to give him indications of that using my seat and not the reins so much. See, I'm kind of turning my head a bit in the direction that I want to go. And he's still a little slow and deliberate, but he gets it right when I ask him to do move out or I ask him to do turn in. We're kind of out of the frame a little bit. It felt a little bit meandery without having a bucket to mark where my circles are. It's kind of like if you get rid of the circle, then he doesn't fall in anymore. I guess that's the idea or something. I don't know. So here we're turning to the right to go around our figure 8. He's not bending a whole lot, but he's bending a little. They're somewhat wide circles, so he's probably bending appropriately to the size of the circle. And here we're going to make a circle toward the left. So I'm asking him for a little move out here. And he really wants to go to the right, so he's diving to the right. I might as well cut it off there because he went out of the frame. Here I'm continuing to ride him to the right. I think correction, to the left. I think he was falling in a bit, but he was bending. I mean, he didn't lose his bend. And I'm asking him for a little move out to the left and riding on a circle to the right. So he is listening and he's trying.